All right, guys. So by now you should have seen the crazy news that has dropped over at DC. So far, a lot of it's been confirmed, and so far, a lot of it hasn't been. Well, I'm saying, like, I want to say, like, what? Like 60-40? 60 has been confirmed, 40 hasn't, right? Because you have James Gunn who tweeted about it, you have Patty Jenkins who released a statement, and you have these actors scrambling to keep their parts and tweeting about their movies and so forth. However, man, this is, I feel like this is like a so, there's so much moving at one time. It's so messy and it's so complicated that, geez. Okay, so on one hand, I totally understand. And like, for people who are like, oh my gosh, fire James Gunn, like as if we were have been given like this cohesive DC filmmaking, stop it. Like, just stop. Stop, stop all the way, okay? Because we don't have anything to fight for right now. And again, this is not coming from somebody who's like, I know people are always concerned about like, oh, are you overly Marvel or are you overly DC? Well, I like to think that I'm like 50-50 in this party because Marvel has my favorite team, which is the X-Men, and DC has my favorite superhero of all time, which is Superman. I love the character. And I've been on record saying many times I did not like Zack Snyder's take on it, on him, but whatever, we're here now. I was willing to take, a lump or two and just keep it pushing because at least he had a cohesive vision. That being said, he was never allowed to reach his cohesive vision. Things were taken apart. So, in some way, people are fighting for some broken vision that will never come to fruition because the person who had said vision is nowhere near the properties anymore. Like he's off making his own characters. He's off doing his Alan Moore thing right now, you know? So with that being said, it's complicated, guys. There are for sure a lot of moving pieces when it comes to this. Jeez Louise, let me think here. So the Cavill thing, I guess, was just never set in stone. I mean, maybe he just felt like he felt strongly about it because, he got that cameo and he was probably hyped up by two very important people who said, yeah, we got this in the bag. His manager, who happens to be The Rock's ex-wife, and also The Rock, who is also managed by his ex-wife. Like somebody like The Rock has a lot of confidence and he could probably build you up in thinking like, oh yeah, we got this in the bag type of deal. But like I've said before, The Rock is amazing at what he does. However, he cannot carry films by himself. Like, if you ever looked at the box office when The Rock is like starting his own franchises, they don't do really well. But for whatever freaking reason, you add him to an established franchise, and that shit shoots off, bro. It's amazing. People love it. So that being said, DC has had more failures than successes, in my opinion. Man of Steel was good. BVS was alright, and like I'm saying, like from the world's perspective, not necessarily from my perspective, because in my opinion, BVS was the truest comic adaptation to its material. Zack Snyder is very good of taking the panel art to the film medium, and like if there's anything I can say about him, it's that. But grossly in the world, like this movie didn't do good. Wonder Woman did amazing, but there was a lot of fanfare. Like, man, we did a lot of work. I'm in that. Like, I must have saw Wonder Woman like 3 times just so there could be a success for Snyder and we could keep this going. Like, my friends and I, we did this. We did that. We helped make sure Wonder Woman did its thing, and it was an all right movie. It wasn't like groundbreaking, like I know whatever, but it was the same old like cookie cutter ending. And can I add this? And I know we're talking about DC, but I kind of got to add this on top. So I know Marvel gets a lot of shit about like how they've done the same movie and it's all this cookie cutter stuff. But if it was easy, DC would have already done it. And like clearly we haven't, but hopefully now we can. So moving forward, Shazam was okay. like it was just a lot of okayness. Nothing was like crazy. And I know somebody's going to be like, "Oh, look at these numbers," but look, they've never done anything. Like if something was fan acclaimed, it wasn't critically acclaimed, and very little money was ever made back. If anything, sure, we've had some hits, but I will say, like, shit really started to hit the fan after Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey. The Joker was a heartbeat. Like, it was like, oh, it was saving DC. But again, that's an Elseworld movie. Wonder Woman 84 was just like, here comes this knife. You're gonna get stabbed. And then, you know, Black Adam was Black Adam. And, you know, things were just going downhill from there. So it's just been bad, right? But moving forward with James Gunn. Okay, so James Gunn does the Suicide Squad. To be fair, I mean, I know people said like it was good, but it wasn't that great. It wasn't. I didn't dig it. I really didn't like it. I feel like I don't know if he purposely kept Leto out of the situation or why nobody refused to use Leto's Joker, but that was the piece that honestly worked. I know a lot of people like to hate on him, but like he was a good Joker. And I think like excluding him from it like hurt the property even more. They should have just kept him in there. But that's regardless. That Suicide Squad came out. It wasn't that great. And then again, Batman comes out, and that's another like shot in the vein, and that brings DC to life. But unfortunately, it's another Elseworld property. So things just are not and were not looking good with the vision that was previously laid out. So it makes sense to me why James Gunn would go, we've got to start from scratch, guys. On top of that, I also don't think it's a whole start from scratch. And let me explain. On the off chance that Cavill was given like we want you back full time from like the new Warner executives, right? From the Discovery Warner merger. It was like, hey, we want you back. Come sign this contract. Bam, you know, you shot these 2 cameos. And I know they're deciding whether or not to keep the Flash cameo, but whatever. But if somebody from Warner said like, yeah, this is the contract, this is for you, even if he didn't sign the contract, but he was given like verbal confirmation, that's a hard sell because that's Henry Cavill. And that would have been like 2 times from 2 different Warner regimes that they have screwed him. And although Danny's claim to fame, right, the Cavill's manager and The Rock's manager, like, is these two people still are very valuable to have playing your films. So to kind of screw this man over twice is, I don't know if that's something they want to do. Because again, they're screwing over Cavill. They're kind of screwing with The Rock over here, which is, you know, like it or not, like I said, he doesn't do good on like movies where he's like the star, but he puts butts in seats, and at any given time, if he really wants to help a movie, which is, I don't think he did this for Black Adam. I don't know why he didn't do this for Black Adam, but all they have to do is hit the If You Smell music at WWE, and you got fans coming. Like, he'll get on, like, and the reach of WWE is crazy. So for them to like screw that over, where you have like press in your back pocket, I don't know. I don't see it. I don't think they would do that. But we shall see. Also, we could have misread Cavill's video. Maybe he was talking about like, oh, I'm coming back for these cameos, not like, oh, I'm gonna do the Man of Steel 2 type of situation. And we took what he put out there as something, and as fans do, we made it bigger than what it really was, and that could be on us. On top of that, I can see why Gunn and Party are kind of like jumping into this super fast. Well, before we get to that, let's just say this. We got to talk about Ezra Miller, Amber Heard, Ray Fisher, right? Just, this property is just way too freaking tainted, you know? It's got too much going on. These properties have like Jeff Johns' involvement, and Jeff Johns can't write a film and a movie for the life of him. This is kind of the reason why he went to comics. And don't get me wrong, like, he started as a screenwriter, didn't make it, went to comics, and he knocked out some bangers. Like, he could tell a comic book story. but he just can't. He can't. He's got too many isms on him. It's just not working out, dude. It's just not working out. So they have to get rid of him. They have to get rid of him. And then, like, fudge, this is like a negative sandwich, man. This is like a negative sandwich. Like, I really don't like it, but it's kind of like, I'm kind of laying this out here for you so you can understand, like, as a DC fan, why I'm willing to, like, just accept this as a wash, because I'm just excited. I want DC to be on top finally, because they are the business. They have the IPs. I don't know what's going on. So I'm just saying, like, let the wash happen. But these are, like, some reasons why. But yeah, so we got all this negative stuff happening, and, like, it's just so much. Ezra Miller has a want to go to jail, all this other good stuff, Amber Heard stuff. But yeah, there's so much. So there's a lot of reasoning on, like, dumping this world. Like, I get it. Like, yeah, let's get rid of it. But again, I've said, like, with Flashpoint, like, I think Flashpoint can act as a catalyst that could erase a lot of this, reset a lot of stuff, take tonnage out. So you could probably still keep Cavill. You could probably still keep Ben Affleck if you want to. You can recast Momoa as Lobo if you want to do that. Somebody else could take those reins. Somebody else could take the reins of Wonder Woman. Joker and Harley Quinn could come back. Like, there could be a proper story told. I just think, well, you know, we'll get to my, again, that's another one that we'll get to later. But it's doable. It's plausible. I've heard online, I've heard on, like, Twitter and on TikTok that people said, like, oh, well, they should give them one more movie. Nah. It's done. Like, why? Like, why pay all this money? And, like, it's just not, you know, it's not worth it. It's not worth the time. It's not worth the headache. And especially if you're counting Wonder Woman 3 based on budget alone. Like, yeah, if she's 12 million, I can only imagine what Ezra's probably going to want, a couple mil plus Bell, whatever, however he's going to get. Yeah, it's just not, it's just not worth it, I don't think, man. And I guess, yeah, going over to, like, this newness is the best bet. Now, hopefully James Gunn is not, like, a dick and he, like, his shit shouldn't be saved. So Suicide Squad and Peacemaker, like, if he's, and that's why I said, like, I don't know if all of this is going to be erased, if the true Snyderverse will ever really be erased, because, again, Peacemaker and the Suicide Squad, these are things that are still have Snyder's fingerprints, and if you want to start over new, that affects everything. That should affect Peacemaker, and that should affect the Suicide Squad. And personally, if you're going to start, like, nixing stuff, I think those things should go. Been said yet, but I believe, like, Blue Beetle and all the other stuff is going to get nixed too, because if they cut Batgirl, who's, like, insanely more popular than Blue Beetle, not a lot of people know about Blue Beetle. Like, again, I remember the story being told to me, or, like, one of the rationales of why we've never got a Nightwing movie is because, like, not a lot of people know who Nightwing is, which is weird for some people to say, but I guess you could kind of say that, like, yeah, I mean, his titles don't really do that great, but I guess, well, the same could be said even worse for Blue Beetle. Not everybody knows who the freak Blue Beetle is, so why you would put money into a Blue Beetle project is banana balls. But again, I do think we're going to see a lot more news coming out in the next couple of days. This video could be proven right or proven wrong, or just it could be just trash. But I do believe things are moving so fast because we are on our way to a writer's strike. You know, again, Hollywood Reporter reported this, like, in 2023, we're probably going to be experiencing another writer's strike. And as you guys know, when we hit a writer's strike, everything is affected in the medium. TV, movies, like, anything that's, like, has writers at the helm, like, is hurt. Like, movies come out, horribly written movies come out, horribly written TV shows. TV shows are put on a hiatus until the writer's strike is over. A lot of things can happen. It's just bad, you know? So I can see James Gunn and Party are like, yo, we need to get ahead of this. So, like, if things were set in motion, cool. But now they're like, yo, there's a writer's strike coming. Okay, that doesn't fit into my vision. That doesn't fit to my. We gotta cut this because we need these writers before they got on a strike. We're trying to figure it out, and hopefully, they would have come up with some deals with some writers to maybe like get them not to strike. But again, I don't know how that works, but I just know it's gonna happen, and maybe this is James Gunn and party trying to get us a foot ahead. Maybe we would have gotten so many things or entertained more things if it wasn't for this. And I think because of this, they're having to move faster than they thought they were going to have to move. And we are seeing cancellation of a lot of stuff. But again, I am excited. I'm excited and I'm weary because, we've had a lot of directors come in. We had a lot of writers come in. DC's been up and down. And I'm hoping that we could get to a place, because it's not even at competition. I just want DC to stand on its own and be DC, because at this point they just can't. You can't compete with the legacy of that Marvel's put out. Like, 100 years from now, maybe not that many years, but years from now, people will remember like all these movies because we have all of these movies, and that's great. I love Marvel for being able to do that. Kevin Feige is a genius, and I'm sure he will have like his wing in like the filmmaker Hall of Fame, whatever. Like, he did some good stuff. I'm just hoping that DC will finally get the credit they deserve. And if it's true that Gunn is basing his world, his endpoint for his world will be Kingdom Come, phenomenal, man. Like, it will be amazing, because if you haven't read Kingdom Come, please go read it. There's like so much stuff in there that, like, the idea of having a starting point and getting from here to there, like seeing how we get there, oh my gosh, that would be amazing. I'm excited for it. My only thing, and this was the thing that I said I was going to talk about later, is it is ambitious. And I say ambitious. Like, this is going to be hard. So, again, this ties into why I say, like, I can see why they're trying to hurry up, because what their mission statement is, they are going to need a lot of writers, a lot of creatives. And if we're going into writer strike, this affects that. And this is why I think, like, we're moving fast. And that is, if you're truly trying to connect movies, TV, video games, comics, or I don't think they had comics in there, but still, movies, TVs, and video games, bro, that's bananas. Okay. Like, Marvel is just starting that, and they've been at this for a while. And already people are already complaining over there about how Phase 4 was a trash, right? They didn't like it, all this other stuff. So you're saying, like, out the gate, like, yo, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do movies, we're going to do TV, we're going to do animation, and they're all going to be connected in the same continuity. Okay, so I don't know what that means for the it just leaves your mind to think, like, what's going to happen. So, what a huge mission statement. They've got a lot of work, but again, that mission statement plus the upcoming writer strike is why I think James Gunn and co are like freaking blazing. They're canceling shit. They're like, we got to do something. We got to get out there. We got to do it fast. And so I think, like, we're going to get a lot more news as we move forward. And again, I do believe Flashpoint, they're probably going to rework Flashpoint to be the jumping off of this new world. But I'm game for it. I'm not afraid. I'm not scared. I'm not worried. I think we're due for some new stuff. Again, like I said, it's been 10 years of this, like, sinking rocky ship. All right, let's do it. Let's get some new stuff. Let's see where we're going with this. Like, I'm putting on my seatbelt. Bam, let's do this. Like, let's see what Gunn's cooking up. Like, I think we're gonna finally get somewhere. I hope so. I'm excited for, like, once we start getting, like, these new castings and who's gonna be where and all this other new stuff. I'm excited to see Jason Momoa as Lobo, if that's true. I'm excited to see who they're gonna cast as Wonder Woman. Are we gonna get a proper Wonder Woman this time? Truth be told, I am not the biggest Henry Cavill fan. Like, Scott Eastwood would have made an awesome Superman, in my opinion. Like, let's see what happens there. But who's going to be the next Batman? Are we going to have two Batman? Is the Reeves-verse going to be connected to this Ultimate Universe? Like, I don't know, man. I'm super excited about it. So, I'm saying to you, don't worry. Don't be scared, guys. Like, yes, we will miss these people, but we're gonna get something awesome in return. Like, I can't wait for it. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you're gonna miss this, if you hate this, what are you thinking about it? Be sure to leave it in a comment. We're also doing a competition, guys. I am giving away season 1 of the House of Dragons to 2 lucky winners. All you have to do is like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video to win, or to enter to win, right? And as usual, guys, stay excellent. I'll catch you guys later.